Our story starts with Yuuya, a fat and ugly boy who is hated by everyone. Someday, while he was walking down the street, hoping that he will help someone someday and become useful, he finds three guys hitting on a high school girl. He asked them to stop, but got beaten instead. When the police arrived, the three guys ran away. Yuuya left, despite his injuries, leaving the girl without knowing his name or thanking him. He gets home, and while lying on the ground, he remembers his miserable life as his parents and siblings hate him because of how he looks. Even in school he always gets bullied. But only his grandfather loved him, and now he lives alone in his house after he died. And now his parents revoked anything with his upbringing because they couldn't take over the house as by his grandfather's will, and he had to do part-time jobs to live. The next day, he gets bullied and beaten by school delinquents. And his siblings were happy to see him in this state. Because of this, he arrives late for his part-time job and got fired. Feeling broke and miserable, led him to take his anger on his reflection in the mirror, destroying it. But by coincidence he discovers a secret door. He gets into a hidden room full of strange things and remembers that his grandfather always got strange items from around the world. He finds a strange-looking door, and he opens it. Upon entering from the door, a hologram appears and tells him that he has entered another world, and he has gained a lot of skills, but his level is low. He discovers the house and finds that it was occupied by a sage, who died and put a magic spell to transfer the house ownership to the first one that entered through the door. Yuuya became the owner of the house and no one can enter the house except him. He finds many rare and powerful weapons in the house, and by swinging them he learns the skill to use them. Suddenly a powerful bloody ogre came attacking, but the magic fence blocked its attack. Yuuya tried to fight by throwing the spear, but the spear obliterated the ogre with one attack. Yuuya leveled up to 100 after he defeated the ogre, and he took the rare items that dropped from it. Then he decided to go to sleep, but before leaving a hologram appeared telling him that he can change the dropped items into real money, and then a 1.5 million yen appeared from thin air. While Yuuya was sleeping, his body started mutating. And in the morning he was a different person, as he was a handsome boy with a fit strong body. He didn't see himself or think about it too much and continued discovering the other world. He got more money while also leveling up defeating monsters, and bought a new school uniform. But he was afraid because tomorrow is the school entrance where his miserable life starts again. The next day at school everyone was staring at him including his siblings, and they were shocked after they knew who he was. Yuuya also was shocked of their reactions, and went to the bathroom to see himself in the mirror, and got shocked of how he changed. Later, while the others were trying to bully him again, a fancy car arrived and a beautiful girl comes out, and she was searching for Yuuya. The girl's name was Kaori Huju, and she was searching for him to thank him after he saved her in the street the other day. She was surprised of how he got slim body, but she knew him from his kind look in his eyes. Kaori invited Yuuya to enroll in her school, Osei Academy, which is a super elite high school. And her father will help his enrollment because he is the chairman of the board, and he wanted to thank him because he saved his daughter. Yuuya's brother and sister told Kaori to take them in his place because he is a loser, but she refused and told them that she investigated all the bad things they did to Yuuya. Kaori grabbed Yuuya's hand and took him to the academy, where he met the chairman who bowed his head to him as thanks for saving Kaori. Yuuya was not sure of his ability to enroll in such an elite school, but the chairman convinced him to try this day in the academy because he chose him because of his personality, and that's what the school focuses on more than the academics side. The chairman introduces Yuuya to Sawada, a good teacher that he will be in her class. Later, Yuuya got introduced to his class, and everyone was amazed of how handsome he looked. After class they circled him out of curiosity, but a hot guy called Ryo stopped them so that Yuuya gets some space. Then he invited him to the cafeteria, where he found that they always have a free meal. Then Ryo introduced Yuuya to his friend, Shingo, and Yuuya was surprised after knowing that they watch anime and play video games like normal high school students. Later, at the end of the day, the chairman asked Yuuya about his opinion of the academy. Yuuya loved the academy, especially how everyone is happy, and how they treated him like a normal human, and in the end he accepted the chairman's invitation to enroll into the academy. When Yuuya got out of the chairman's office, he found Kaori waiting for him. She asked him to accompany her while shopping. In street, she told him that she doesn't do shopping that often, but she wanted to do it with him. Later Yuuya treated her to a crepe and both of them start to get closer. Eventually Kaori asked him to call her by the first name, and then they tasted each other's food. Later, Yuuya went back to the other world wearing a full armor and started beating monsters again. But he noticed that his up-leveling now has become slow, so he decided to go outside the fence and discover more of the world. Suddenly he heard men screaming, and when he rushed he found corpses and a beautiful girl that was about to be killed by a powerful monster. Yuuya fights back the monster and beats it and saves the girl. Then he found her unconscious, and suddenly guards start calling for her name, Lexia. Then Yuuya quickly activates the stealth skill and moves away. Later Yuuya returned from the other world and he was worried about the girl he saved, but he was sure that those soldiers will help her. And now that Yuuya have some money, despite the shirts from the other world doesn't get dirty, he decided to go buy new clothes. He goes to a shopping mall and all the girls stare at him and he couldn't handle all the stares thinking that they are bad stares. Meanwhile, in the same shopping mall, there was a photography session of an advertisement about boyfriend and girlfriend shopping together. The problem was that the man called Sho, who will act as the boyfriend, is late for the shoot and the photographer was made because they can't wait too much for him to appear, especially when everyone is ready. So he decided to look for a good-looking guy in the shopping mall to take the boyfriend role in the shoot. Meanwhile, Yuuya was lost choosing between outfits, when he got approached by two girls who wanted to spend time with a handsome boy like him. But he turned them down politely and left them mesmerized and frozen for a short time. Later, the photographer saw Yuuya, and he asked him to take place in his shoot. Yuuya got introduced to a beautiful girl called Mio, who will be the girlfriend, and they took many good photos together. Yuuya was amazed by how beautiful and elegant Mio was, and she thanked him because he saved their schedules. Yuuya was stiff around Mio, so the photographer told Mio to grab his hand and put her arms around his neck, but Yuuya couldn't handle a beautiful girl like Mio, pressing her body into his, for the first time. Meanwhile, in the other world, Lexia, who was saved by Yuuya, was thinking about him, and wanted to thank him for saving her life in the forest. Apparently she is a princess, and her guards tried to prevent her from going again into the dark forest, because it's a no place for a human to live. But Lexia insisted on going and took her best guards with her. Back to the photo shoot. While everyone was on break, Yuuya and Mio started knowing each other better and became closer, talking about model life and knowing more about Mio's life as a model. After Yuuya started to relax more around her, the photographer, Hikaru, sneaks more natural photos of the two of them happy together. Suddenly, Sho arrives late and he was famous among the women because how handsome he is. All the women in the mall was cheering for him. He approaches Mio and slams her to the wall, annoying her by asking and pushing her too much to go drink with him. Mio refused all his offers and didn't seem happy when she saw him. When Yuuya asked him to stop annoying her, Sho tried to punch him, but Yuuya's reflex was so fast and he instinctively grabbed him and flipped him to the ground. Sho was shocked because he was training boxing and was good at it. Yuuya felt like he has done something bad, as he just beaten a handsome man while he is ugly. Suddenly all the audience in the mall cheered for Yuuya as they all saw the scene from the start. Then Hikaru showed Sho that they recorded how he got beaten by an amateur, and told him to say goodbye to his boxing sport and model work, as he will publish this video online, because Sho disrespected his work by calling it silly. Later, Hikaru asked Yuuya to sign an exclusive contract with them and promised him that he will be happy with the income he will make. But Yuuya refused politely because he is an amateur and maybe can't get the job done. Hikaru accepts his decision and gives him fashionable clothes he carefully chose for him as a payment, and thanks for his work, and Yuuya thanked them and wished Mio more success in her life and left. While they were going home, Hikaru was mentioning how much good job Yuuya would have achieved with his good look as a fashion model. Then he noticed that Mio started to have an interest in Yuuya, and he started teasing her. In the other world, Lexia and her guards were fighting monsters in the dark forest, and when she was about to get attacked, Yuuya saves her for the second time. Yuuya defeats all the remaining monsters, leaving the guards shocked, then he heals the injured guards. Lexia approaches him, and she suddenly asks him to marry her, leaving everyone shocked. Later, in a production company, a mysterious woman saw Yuuya's photos and decided to send her men to look for his whereabouts, so that she gets an exclusive contract with Yuuya before any other company does. And that's the end of the video. Please tell me your opinion, and like the video. Take care, and watch other interesting videos.